Alright, hey guys, what's going on? This is Space here, and welcome back to another video. Alright, so 2018 is wrapping up. It was a pretty interesting year. Definitely an interesting year for gaming. Very big year. So alright, so I have my list of my 10 favorite games that I've played this year. Now, two things to note. One, these are just games that I've just played over this past year. Not all of them are new games. Some of them I've just been catching up. There's one that I really should have played a while ago that I finally got to play, and it was amazing. It's going to be on there, of course. So, yeah. And then the other thing to note is there are some games I haven't played that are new this year, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Spider-Man PS4, and God of War. So sadly, you will not see those on this list. But don't worry, I've still got some pretty fun games on here. So, alright, let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, at number 10 we have Alan Wake American Nightmare. Now this is of course a standalone DLC sort of thing. It's like a little add-on thing. It's not very long. It's about 3 or so hours. I just played Alan Wake last year and I absolutely loved it. And so I decided to check out this one. This one's pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty fun. It's pretty short, like I said before, and it is a little repetitive, but I still enjoyed it. And you get to see, of course, some of your favorite characters from the last one, as well as a new character, which is probably the best antagonist in the series, Mr. Scratch. It's a pretty interesting character. I like him. You get to see some new weapons too, which was a lot of fun to explore. Like I think there was like an Uzi or something that wasn't in the first one, and just like a few other things here and there. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same principal mechanics and stuff. So yeah, the game also looks pretty nice, and there are even some live-action cutscenes, which are so awesome. The actor that they got to play Alan looks just like him in the video game, so it's so cool. And yeah, overall, pretty fun game. Not the best game I've played this year, obviously that's why it's at number 10, but I still enjoyed it a lot. Alright, now at number 9 we have Thief. Now I can see why some hardcore fans of Thief don't like this one really as much as the rest, and the rest are pretty amazing too. I've only sadly played Deadly Shadows, I think is what it's called. That was really good. I really enjoyed that one, and this one is pretty good too. I really enjoyed it as well. I like the atmosphere. It feels nice and dark. It kind of has that Dishonored feel a little bit. Not quite the art style of Dishonored per se, but just kind of has a darker feel and darker tone to it. And I thought it was really good. It's got some mechanics from the older games as well as some new ones too, which was a lot of fun to explore. The story is pretty interesting too, and it has some pretty fun levels. And I really enjoyed the challenge of trying to be as stealthy as possible while trying to get a lot of money. Overall, definitely not the best in the series, but still a pretty fun entry. Alright, at number 8 we have Crossing Souls. Now one thing that I really love is kind of like an older style of video game, you know, where it has like that 8-bit or 16-bit sort of feel to it. And yes, this one perfectly captures that. It feels amazing. I love the graphics of this game. It has a really fun 80s feel, you know, the standard like a bunch of kids in a group that do stuff together, and each one has like their own little unique ability and stuff to them. And something happens and they have to like solve the mystery and stuff. It's like sort of classic storyline that you can find in a lot of 80s movies, as well as of course some newer movies like Super 8. If you like stories like that, especially like Stranger Things, then you'll probably really like this game. Just so fun, and yeah, the gameplay mechanics are a lot of fun too. It feels like an older game, but it's of course pretty new too, so yeah, fun stuff. Has a fun soundtrack too. Alright, at number 7 we have a game that I surprisingly haven't played until this year, and that is Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero. This is like the prologue to the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. And man, it was a lot of fun, especially a lot of fun to mess around with. There's a lot of fun and really cool mechanics in this game that you don't really see in so many other games. So I was like, this is great. And yeah, it was just fun being Snake and like messing around and stuff. I actually messed around more than I actually paid attention to the story. So yeah, it was just you get to infiltrate like this little base thing, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. The game gives you a lot of freedom to play the game how you want to, and like accomplish the objective how you want to, which is great. I love when games do that. They're like, alright, you know what, just do this and try to accomplish this without completely like dying or whatever, or destroying everything. There's like a lot of fun stuff to do. Like there's a tank in the game that you can just mess around with. You can go around, you can try to be stealthy, which is fun. But, you know, just going in and, like, guns blazing is a lot more fun. Even though, of course, it's probably not going to work and you're probably not going to complete your objective. But it's just a fun game to mess around with if you just have some free time. Kind of like the Just Cause series. But, you know, this one, of course, has, like, a really solid storyline, too, that I definitely recommend checking out as well. Not just messing around, but also, like, checking out the storyline first. And then, you know, messing around afterwards. Yeah, it's just, one of those games you can just mess around with and have a good time. And, of course, play as Snake. I mean, who doesn't want to be Snake? Alright, at number 6 we have Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I really love the feel of this game. It's just such a fun little game. Not really anything too grand or anything, but it has like some nice graphics to it. and really fun soundtrack and some really great voice acting too, and just a lot of fun action too. It's like a zombie game with mobsters and stuff. There's some mobsters in the game too that you fight as well, and yeah, it's just kind of a silly game, but just a lot of fun to mess around with. And it's not too long, but you get a lot of enjoyment from the time that you spend in it. And there's a lot of fun weapons too. Like I believe there's a flamethrower, there's a shotgun, there's pistols and stuff, all that stuff. And yeah, there are a lot of fun enemies too. Like there's multiple zombies and stuff. Like I said before, there's mobsters and all that stuff. And there's also some pretty fun boss fights. There's only like I think 3 boss fights, maybe even 4. I don't know. I know there's like a few boss fights. The end one is alright. I don't like the end one as much as the rest of them, but the overall, yeah, pretty good. The story is pretty simple, but it's also fun too. Like I said before, there's some great voice acting in this game, and the characters that are in it are awesome. I love the characters, especially the main character, Vinny. Just so funny. It's got a lot of funny one-liners too, and yeah, great stuff. Alright, getting down to number 5, and we have Batman Telltale Series Season 1. Yes, I finally played this game too. I actually pretty much binged through all of it. I played 3 chapters or 3 episodes in one day. So yeah, I just completely loved it so much. I was like, alright, I just gotta get through all of this, and I defeated it in like one weekend, and oh man, it's worth it. It's like watching a Batman TV series, honestly, but you also get to make your decisions and stuff. And yeah, you have to really think through the decisions too. Some of them don't have such a huge impact as others, but some actually do have some pretty big impacts onto the story. And yeah, I just like it overall. It has a unique story to tell, definitely different from what we've seen in previous Batman installments, like the movies and the games and stuff. Like, yeah, just some different story elements that we really don't see too often, and some new characters too, which is great. Now, it does kind of stray from the source material a little bit with some of the stuff that it does, but I do like that. It's a great thing to see, You can't just go around and see the same old stuff every single time. It's nice and refreshing, And the voice acting is great as well. And yeah, overall, just great story, great voice acting, some pretty darn good music too, and a lot of fun. It's not really like a super action-packed game. There is some action and stuff too, but it's not like a game that you get to control all of the action and stuff all the time. But it's just yeah, just fun and great to get into, just to enjoy the story and all of the characters. Alright, so at number 4, we have such a funny game. I just fell in love with this game when I played it. It is the Stanley Parable. There's so much stuff to do. It's kind of hard to explain this game, honestly. It's just, you're just in this office and there's a narrator that's talking to you. The narrator is hilarious. And yeah, the narrator is telling the story and you have to follow along with what he's saying. Or you can stray off and do a bunch of random stuff. It's just such a weird game. It's such a fun game as well. It has a really weird mystery tied to it too. The office is empty and stuff. You're all alone. And just such a fun game. It's a pretty short game, but you can just spend a few hours in it at a time, The thing that it really has going for it is the narrator. He's just such an awesome character, such a funny character. He has a really nice voice too, I like his voice. And yeah, just it's so fun seeing what you can do in the game, how just weird it can get, and how off the beaten track you can go, and how there's so many different stories within it too, that you can decide how to do it. It's like a choose your own adventure story pretty much. And yeah, it's a simple game, but it's just also complex, simple on the outside but complex on the inside. And such a fun game. I love it. There's some really weird achievements too. If you look at the achievements in the game, there's some really weird ones. It's great. Down to the final 3. Alright, so at number 3 we have a game that actually came out this year. Big surprise, right? And that is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Now, I really like the Tomb Raider games, especially the new ones. I think the new ones are just so good. I think they really did a great job revitalizing the series and making it into something a little more gritty than the other ones. And, so good. I love the first 2, and this one, the third one, I thought was amazing. I don't know which one's my favorite, honestly. I really like this one. This one might be my favorite, or my second favorite. I really like the first one, too. First one was a lot of fun. And, yeah, it was great seeing the return of Lara, as well as Jonah. And I thought the story and villain were pretty darn good. There's a lot of fun moments in this game, and a lot of fun action scenes and stuff, and set pieces. And yeah, I just really enjoyed this game a lot. I pretty much played through it. I think it was the first week. I just defeated it. I just kept on going and going. It's just such an addictive game. You just want to get to the end. And the final boss fight's pretty fun too. It's not the best boss fight ever in any game, but I think it's still pretty fun. It's probably one of my favorites of this year. It was yeah, it was good. And it was a little challenging too to try to figure out what exactly you're supposed to do, and it's alright, I got this, and yeah, good stuff. Like I said before, the story is also pretty intriguing as well. You get to see a storyline that's been spanning on through the first 2 games get sort of wrapped up in the end. So I don't know if they'll be making another one. but we'll see what the future holds. There's like a really awesome scene where it's like you get to go into the past, Laura's past, and that was so much fun. It's great, and the graphics look amazing too. This game is a pretty nice looking game. Alright, so at number 2, this is a game I should have played quite a while ago, but I finally got to it, and this is actually the first game I played this year, and that is Mass Effect. This game is kind of like a Star Trek-y game, you know, where you go across the galaxy exploring and solving like this big sort of mystery going on within the galaxy, and you get to explore different planets and stuff, and build relationships with the crew members, get to know them, get to love them, and oh man, it's just so fun. Not really too much I can say about this game that already hasn't been said, but it's just so amazing. I heard some people complain about like the driving in this game, but personally I found it was pretty alright, you know? I really wasn't bothered by it. It takes some little getting used to, but you know, after that it's, yeah, you don't get to drive too often in the game either, so. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about this in this isn't a review, but you know. I really liked all of the characters. There really wasn't a character that I didn't like, and you have to make choices in the game too. Some of the choices are really hard too, and I've heard that the choices in the second one are even harder, so oh boy. But I'm going to play the second one this year. I'm really excited to play it. Well, not this year, but you know, next year, like in a few days, you know, obviously. So, man, just such a great game. I'm glad I finally got to play it, and I'm really excited to explore the rest of this series because, man, the first one is so good. And there's a lot of great levels too, like just, so many fun times. And definitely recommend it. If you haven't played this game, highly recommend it. Alright, we're at number 1. I feel like this one is probably predictable if you know anything about me or my channel in general. And at number 1, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is definitely the best Assassin's Creed game we've had in a while. I really like Origins. I feel like Origins was definitely a great step into the right directions, and I think Odyssey was definitely like really shaped it, what Origins put out and stuff, and really made it into something amazing. I liked Origins, like I said before. Origins was one of my favorite games of last year, and yeah, this one was just so good. It just like did everything Origins did, but better, and just like so much good stuff. A lot of new mechanics too. Like there's a now you can choose dialogue and stuff, which I thought was a great touch. Really something you haven't seen in the game at all. Since this is the first time you get to do it, so yeah, of course, isn't something you see in the game. The soundtrack was pretty darn good. I really liked it, and the characters, I love the characters, especially the main character of Cassandra. I played as Cassandra, not Alexos. But I've heard that Alexios is pretty good too. I said Alexos, sorry. I really enjoyed the story too. It kind of moves slowly at first, but you really get into it, and then it like you're just like kicks into maximum overdrive, and you just like ignites you all the way through to the end. And there's a lot of fun quest lines too. Not only just like the main quest, but also like the side quests. There's like just so much stuff to do. You have to hunt down cultists and stuff, and like just do a bunch of stuff. And the main storyline actually isn't something I didn't expect. I didn't really know what the main story was going to be, and I was like, wow, this is great. And yeah, just such an amazing game. One of the best Assassin's Creed games, probably the best since Black Flag. The modern story is alright. The ending is pretty darn good. I like that. That was awesome. But overall, the modern story is it's alright. It hasn't really been that great, to be honest, since Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 probably has one of the best modern stories in the entire series. And then after that, you know, it just kind of died. But hopefully they'll fix it and make it around. But honestly, I don't even know if they really need it anymore, honestly. But, you know, I said honestly like 5 times there, but you know, honestly, so yeah, just so great, everything, I love everything about this game, and definitely my favorite game of this year, and I'm really excited to see where the series goes from here. Anyways guys, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite games this year were, even if there are games you just started playing this year, you know, like games that you haven't played before that you just got into that are older, or new games. Anyways guys, I'll see you guys next time. And speaking of next time, I'll be defeating LEGO Harry Potter years 5 through 7, hopefully this next week, as well as I'll be doing my top 10 favorite movies of this year as soon as I see Bumblebee, so alright.